Here we are again, me and analyzing male slavery, and we're looking in at these Carano fired from Mandalorian, but it's
Yes.
not so much that as we see this constant. What do you call it there?
Let me explain it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, there's a section of the YouTube that's outrage right-wing response media. It's like gossip about the backstage politics of the corporations and TV companies. And they just gossip about Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars, and other franchises ad nauseum. So they're trying to fuel the outrage. And also, a lot of these channels, they cover Star Wars, and they try to keep hope going for Star Wars going as well, because they've got vested interest too. So
Yes.
what's going on? Feminists are attacking people within Star Wars. They're ruining the Star Wars franchise, and they're just trying to frame it as left versus right. Now, Gina Carino is a lunatic. She's a mentally ill right-wing bitch, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not afraid to say it. She seems to believe in pedo conspiracy theories against left-wingers, and she rants on about Epstein all the time. Okay, she's a nut job. She's a right-wing nut job. Okay, she's a moron, and maybe she should have got fired or not. Right, I'm not entirely sure because I don't really care that much. But I'll say one thing for sure from what I've seen of what she said. She's a moron. She's an utter moron, and she's anti-male as well. Trust me, she doesn't give a fuck about her male fans.
Exactly.
White knight for her.
Yes, and this is what we've been trying to say. I've been saying all along, is that these guys want this Gina Carano to be their what? Just a minute, I guess think about it.
Princess.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about what's the French chick that
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc. They want her to be the Joan of Arc, and it doesn't work. Yes. I mean, I have a video where the guy was talking about the one who played Black Widow. What's her name? And because
Scarlett Johansson.
Yes. And the video says Scarlett Johansson isn't going to save you, because even back then, it's probably like 3 months old now, and they're still doing it. They're still latching on to these women that they're actually only kicking up a steam for their own personal gain.
Yes.
And just because they have been personally attacked, and then they try and balloon it up as, oh, she's one of us and she cares about us.
What she did, she compared the persecution that Republicans went through to Jews in the Holocaust getting persecuted before the Holocaust, right? It's a stupid thing to say. I don't think it was anti-Semitic, right? I think she was just trying to play the victim by using the most extreme analogy possible.
Yes.
It's right wingers are the victim mongers as well. They play the victim all the bloody time. They do it all the time, okay? And this woman is not worth defending. And look, if you had any principles, you wouldn't be creaming your pants over the Mandalorian. So you get treated like dirt by these feminists who run LucasArts, okay? They give you a halfway decent TV show, apparently. I'm not sure how good it is. And you're all back on the Star Wars train, and now you're having a temper tantrum because your right-wing female goddess has gotten fired. Jesus Christ.
And there's two things I want to point out. One is that Carano is just as likely to hashtag any of these nerds as any of the other women are.
Yes.
Just as likely. She feels the same way. She's the same disgust for low-level nerds like this guy as any of them.
Yes.
And the other thing is she's been fired from here, but she is not going to be hounded. She's going to find work.
She's already found work. She's going to work for right-wing media companies.
Exactly.
But she probably did this on purpose to get fired, to be honest. She's probably, who knows, who actually cares? Should we watch their video?
Yes, let's start. Let's start at this. It's a long video, by the way, because they just repeat themselves endlessly, but we'll start.
It's very generic. Yes.
Yes.
So you know the narrative that they're going to share and the media is going to be, oh, because she said bad things. Now, I saw the post she made, or I read what was written today, and I think that she was in it mocked Jews of the Holocaust, like Twitter was saying.
No, she was basically comparing that situation to, as I understand it, because I did look at the Instagram post, to the fact that, the Yahtzees got people to turn on each other, and they really didn't have to do it.
Before you go, do you know what they mean by not Yahtzees?
They're trying to say Nazis without getting demonetized or banned.
Ah, right. Guys, I heard
it. This is the problem here with these right wingers. They always have this sarcastic, passive aggressive, changing the terms type fucking shit. No, fight for the right to say Nazis. You should be able to say Nazis on bloody YouTube, right? The Nazis existed. Okay, there's historical channels that should be able to use the word Nazis to talk about them. So that they're actually when they do that, they actually look guilty when they do it. Basically, they've got something to hide. This is the way right-wingers act, because they are cowards, basically.
Exactly. The thing is, maybe they are being demonetized if they use the word. But all that, we don't have to worry about that. You and I don't give a shit about money. So
yeah, they should fight for the right collectively to use the word. They can't do that. None of these groups can fight collectively for anything. That's why they're such losers and they get everything wrong.
yes.
Yes.
That's why I call his channel a cope channel. They're all
Yes.
cope.
Yes.
A whole lot because everybody was turning on each other.
And let's be effing honest here. In the way this country is anymore, I don't care which side you're on. Everybody's fighting each other. Which and everybody's like, as soon as one says something, they're quickly respond. It's all about keeping the fight going and everything else. And everybody's upset for one reason or another. And what she said wasn't.
This is just very generic. Oh, people fighting all the time. The country's divided. This sort of nonsense. No, feminists have positions of power in corporations and the government, and they're attacking men for the most part. And now that a woman's getting attacked for being a right-wing nut job, right? She's basically, Gina pushed her female privilege to the limits, to the breaking point, and she pushed it too far, and she's getting punished for it. That's what happened. Everyone's losing their mind over this.
Yeah. She noticed the guys. Like the other one, Vic McNano and all these guys, they do not just say outrageous things like she does.
Yeah.
Because
they got falsely accused and attacked. That's what happened to them.
Yes, exactly.
Actually untrue, nor was it, irrelevant to the situations going on. Plus, just in the way that there's a huge double standard at Lucasfilm, it fits into what she was saying as well.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because this is going to.
There's double standards. But like you say, they're going to try and push it as a Republican Democrat double standards. They won't say it.
So they lose when they do this because they're being dishonest. They're right wingers and they want to defeat left, so they're making this a right versus left issue, basically. So they don't care about getting the issue resolved. They want to fight their political war, basically.
Well, just on us offside, looking at that stupid Baby Yoda, goes to show you just how vapid, Disney is.
This is not going to go the way that Lucasfilm was hoping it was going to go. In fact,
no, this is just retarded too. Lucas is doing exactly what it wants. These losers are still going to watch these things.
Yes.
When they brought the Mandalorian out, they raced to it in hopes. So the Lucasfilm is getting everything it wants. And
I think that the backlash is going to be pretty severe, given the following that she has, given the fact that she has a lot of conservatives in particular rooting for her because she's one of very few conservative voices in Hollywood.
It comes down to politics, same as it always does. It's about who you vote for, which has no bearing on playing.
You see, this is what you're talking about. It has nothing to do with what this woman voted for.
Right, she's not conservative though. She's an extreme right winger. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious.
For playing a part. And I would have said the same thing even if it had been Republicans against Democrats or whatever. I would have said, so what if they're Democrat? That doesn't affect how they play their part.
Right. I mean, I don't agree with everything Pedro says.
Again. Actually, no. Actors are not just there to play a part. They're part of a company, they're part of a corporation, and they're representing that corporation. Right? Okay. If you had a serial killer that everyone knows was a serial killer, who was an actor, but got off on the technicality, right? But everyone knows he did it. It was obvious, but he got off on the technicality, right? You can't just go, oh yeah, I'm just doing my job. I'm just here to act. That corporation wouldn't hire him for good reason, okay? Right?
Yeah, they don't want their image smeared.
They don't want their image smeared. So if someone's mouthing off saying stupid things on Twitter, gobbing off, right? And someone who should know better, that corporation has a right to protect their public image because it might harm their profits, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
For him to be fired.
No, he does a good job.
Unless he did something really, really heinous, was beating children or something like that. So anyway, this was confirmed via IO9. or the site formerly known as IO9, that they got a statement from Lucasfilm. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable.
It's only acceptable
Okay,
when
pause.
Lucas himself.
Pause. I want to point something out. They are telling a lot of lies about her. She's been smeared, right? Okay, there are a lot of lies, exaggerations being told about her to make her look worse. I do admit that is actually going on. So I do actually think she's been treated badly, even though she's a complete moron. I've got no sympathy for her. But let's carry on.
This is a very strange. People questioned whether or not this was an official statement because it sounds an awful lot like that racism tweet where it sounds like it was written by like a 22-year-old or something.
Yeah, because Disney really needs to do something about the Star Wars person they have over their Twitter, running their Twitter account, because they're.
I mean, they put her there, or him, purposely, of course. So they're not going
to. They try to deflect the blame, basically, to the person doing the tweets. No, the corporation did that tweet. You know what's getting tweeted out.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're fine with what he's tweeting out. It's because I think that these people are trying to hope for Star Wars to come back. Basically, they're trying to blame it on incompetent people within LucasArts. LucasArts was taken over by a feminist. Full stop.
Yes, and all these channels are still using gender neutral terms. You know.
Yes. Kevin Kennedy's still got a bloody job.
Very clear.
Just a minute. What was that?
Kevin Kennedy's still got a job as well.
Yes. At worst, she was moved laterally.
Yes.
I've seen that all the time.
Yes.
They don't want to fire the woman, so they take her out of that position, put her in a position of equal.
That's female privilege, by the way.
Yes.
Action. Yes.
Biases, and it's not doing them any favors.
It is not. So you put a story up on Pirates and Princesses
because I know it's going to happen. It's going to be all spun to be that she was horrible. And here's what she said: Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by children, because history is edited.
Yeah, no, that's crazy thing to say. Did he include children too?
Well, no, actually, no. She's sort of correct. This did happen. Children did beat Jews.
Ah,
all right. She's talking about that. So she's not being crazy. She's talking about what happened before the Holocaust, which has nothing to do with what she's talking about. She's being really extreme. She's using an extreme analogy to be really hysterical. That's what she's doing.
Right.
Okay.
Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? It's not, frankly.
Pause.
I don't see how you're saying that.
Okay. Stop. That's a completely moronic thing to say. A Jew is a cultural identity or a race, right? Or religious identity. It's a mixture of the two, right? Yeah. But the Germans, the Nazis, considered it a racial identity. Okay, the Jews were persecuted for their racial identity by the Nazis. You can't compare that to having a political opinion, right? A political opinion can be really bad. You can, like, for example, the Nazis were a political opinion. So the Nazis go, "Oh no, you're persecuting me for my political opinion." No, you deserve to be persecuted for your political opinion. Some political opinions are trash, right? A political opinion is what you believe, what you want society to do. Right, so you can't just go, "Oh, you're persecuting me for my political opinion," like your political opinion is neutral. It's not. It depends what your political opinion is. Therefore, her analogy falls down completely. Okay, I think I've explained that.
Good. Keep going. Try. We're only in 4 minutes. Oh my God.
Different than all the people who have been going around telling people who didn't like the sequel movies that they were Nazis. Because that has been the go-to for Lucasfilm people and other fans and these outlets. You're massage.
Okay, they don't just call them Nazis. They like to call them misogynists, incels, geeks, nerds, rapists. Okay, they use all living in their mother's basements, perma virgins. They use all the anti-male insults, right? They're fixated on the alt-right Nazi thing because the alt-right Nazis themselves most likely.
Yes, I would suspect.
Yes.
They are right wingers for sure.
Yeah.
Racist, you're Nazis. That's okay. That's okay. But what she said isn't okay. Well, at the end of the day, what she said isn't okay, then neither is calling people names for not liking a damn movie. You can't sit there, and I bet you money, if you go look at some of these Twitter people who are celebrating, if you go look at their tweets, they probably call people Nazis.
I'm sure they have. You were talking
How's
about.
that plank in your eye doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is kind of this is a scalp being taken, because if you're to believe that there is a civil war at Lucasfilm, and there does seem to be a civil war between the Kathleen Kennedy and the story group and basically Favreau, Filoni, and everybody else.
Pause.
Seems.
Right here,
I don't believe in this civil war LucasArts story being peddled. I just don't believe it. My gut instinct tells me this is just rumor and it's completely wrong.
Exactly.
So, what I suspect is happening. There's a few people whining within LucasArts and they're leaking stuff. There's no civil war.
No. What I suspect too is because Favreau isn't anti-male, that they think that he's fighting it out with Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes.
He's not.
Yes.
He's bowing down like the rest of them when they say,
Yes.
To be a kind of a power play, to be like, oh, you like Gina Carano? Yeah, she's gone.
Well, let's go over this. Okay, what started this whole thing?
Well, he admitted man babies, right? But it's not a power play. They just got rid of her because she became a liability.
Apparently, allegedly, it's because Gina Carano wouldn't put her stupid pronouns in her bio because she didn't think, and she didn't have to, honestly. That's a comment in a minute about something else.
Let's pause it. I'm going to admit, I do think she's been persecuted by the trans ideologues. Basically, they're targeting her, bullying her, basically, like lunatics. I do think they're trans. There is one thing that right are correct on, but they frame the issue in the wrong way, because they're actually legitimate transphobes themselves, ironically enough, most of the time. But the trans ideology, the trans community, are a bunch of lunatics who go around bullying and victimizing mostly men, but also women as well, because they try to fight for their female privilege. They want to be seen as female.
Yes.
They want to go against scientific facts, and they will target females to make them comply as well. And they're very determined. They work together. They're very effective. They're very good at getting shit done. So they're very powerful for their size.
Yes. And also, going after a female is really it's easy to bully a guy.
Yes.
But if you can make a foreign woman bend the knee, then you're a top dog. That really.
Yes. they do go after right-wing females a lot. Yeah. And you've got to read the Reddit ban of radical feminists on Reddit is due to the trans community going after them, trying to get them banned for being transphobic. It wasn't for the misandry, unfortunately.
Sadly enough, true.
Yes.
So that set this whole thing off. And because of that one thing, they started monitoring her likes and her tweets and going out of the way to try to get her canceled, okay? Because we have to cancel her.
That cancel term.
Stop using that fucking term cancel. It's a dodge term. It's so fucking pathetic. If they're doing what she says they're doing, they're stalking her, right, and harassing her.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't use the term fucking cancel.
It's a gender neutral term anyway. Used.
Yes.
They don't have to avoid saying abusing men, or kicking men out.
Because that's not okay. Meanwhile, you got Pablo Hidalgo mocking a Star Wars YouTuber for crying over seeing Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. That was one thing. Then we had James Earl Jones got ignored on his birthday. Carl Weathers got ignored on his birthday. They made sure to remember.
This means nothing.
She's going to try and make James Earl Jones into a race issue.
Yes.
What she's already going to do, she's trying to virtue signal and be politically correct. The James L. Jones thing has nothing to do with race, right? Because we live in a black female supremacist culture as well. Black females are on the top of the food chain when it comes to victim identity and bullying identity, right? The victim is not victim politics, it's bullying politics using a false victim narrative. That's what intersectional feminism is, okay? I read an article recently about how empowering the Black Panther movie is for black males, but it made sure to note that the Black Panther was kept in his place by the black females.
Yes.
Right? Okay? So the point I'm trying to make here is James L. Jones is getting shown because he's an old male. He's an old black man, but he's an old male in his 80s now, I think. He's very old.
Yes.
Okay. And he's getting ignored because, look, Kathleen Kennedy said it herself, the force is female. Push males to the sidelines. Boom.
Yes.
For Kelly Marie Tran, though. Then the day after James Earl Jones' birthday, they put the big thing up about Martin Luther King Jr. and how they're against racism. We have the whole thing with Finn and John Boyega going on and all that. No matter how many times people told them to remind them about James Earl Jones' birthday.
Right. Okay, I've got to give them credit, right? I'm not just going to attack them. When they're correct, they're correct. They actually, one of the right-wing channels to mention that Finn was an attack against black men. Basically,
Yes.
a lot of the racists on the comment section will deny it. They'll deny it, basically. So there is no intersectional racial politics fighting for black people within Star Wars. It's all about females. That's it. It's female supremacy behind it.
I pointed out before that
yes.
no black man wants to be Finn. Finn was a milk toast character,
yes.
limp-wristed
and made into a joke, basically.
Yes.
And here's the thing: feminists use racial politics as a shield, and the white nationalists, racists, and the alt-right actually validate their shield by taking the bait and going after their straw man issue, the red herring issue. Unfortunately,
exactly.
And they don't want to learn. When you try explaining what they're doing wrong, they don't want to learn because they want to go for racial politics because they're racists.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, with Finn too, it's like no one if intersectional feminism was really about, had black men in there fighting for it, they would say, hey, how come he wasn't good enough for Rey? Yes. How come Rey ended up going for this sad, in power white guy?
Yes. Because he had status. That's what it is. Exactly. Finn was too low status. Finn was an ex-soldier drifter, right? He had actions to rebellion. And that evil twerp.
Yes,
I can't remember his name, Ben Solo or
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. He had he was a lord, wasn't he? He had a lot of power.
He was the top bad boy, so he's a bad boy. He was white.
And he's violent as well. Women like violent men. He's violent, which is a plus. Finn actually didn't like being violent. He was only violent as a last resort. So yeah. Anyway,
so it followed the typical romance novel.
Yes.
Formula. So I keep saying, it's like, sorry, you girls always go for the same story.
Yes.
So this diversity and changing stories to have something new it's all bullshit.
Yes.
Okay.
They refused to fix it. They could have easily fixed it. They didn't. But you know whose birthday remembered? Laura Dern's birthday today, who played Admiral Holdo. They remember to tell her a happy birthday.
Yeah.
So but they're against racism.
What's that?
She's female. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
So what they've done, Kathleen Kennedy, she consciously tried to destroy the male characters, right? Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, right? She tries to sideline all the male actors. Okay, like she reduced the role that Darth Vader had in that Star Wars movie, the Rogue One. Yes, Rogue One, right? Reduce the James L. Jones role into that, minimize it. She's trying to empower the females and get the big roles in positions of power in LucasArts. The force is female. It's typical behavior in corporate politics when females take a position of power. I'm not going to say feminist. This is what females do. They network and they marginalize men. Yes. Men don't want to admit this.
Well, that's just it. It's like, even though I say feminist all the time, feminism does speak for women.
Yes.
You don't have to be a feminist to actually behave. Women do behave like this.
Yes.
To some guys. Then we have the Christina Ariel situation, which, I'm sorry. A lot of people were thinking, well, some of these tweets that she had posted could read a little bit racisty. Okay?
A little bit.
I mean, white people stop fucking, whatever. You fucking stop it. Your racism.
White people stop fucking.
You know what I mean?
We don't need any more of you.
You know what I mean?
So stop it.
White women are just complicit in the upholding and enforcing white supremacy. And we even gave her the benefit of doubt and said,
Actually, that is true.
It's not true.
What? White women don't uphold?
White women are placing upholding white supremacy. How's that true? That's nonsense. That's a black female shitting on white females. What I'm telling you what it is. It's women have got a social dominance instinct, right? As a group, okay, and they practice it by slandering and attacking other groups, and they mostly attack men, but they'll also turn on other groups of women because they want to be the top group of women. Okay, so what a lot of black women do, they'll passively aggressively turn on white women and attack them a lot of the time.
True.
Okay,
but at the same time, I would agree that white supremacy.
No, Trevor. There's no such thing as white supremacy.
Oh,
it's a racist
really?
concept. There's no. What white supremacy? If there was white supremacy, why did black women outlive white men?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking about like white nationalism.
No, she's not talking about white nationalism. She's talking about white supremacy, a vague, nebulous concept used to attack white people, used by black racists. This woman they're talking about is a racist. Right. She's a black female racist. That's what she is.
Well, you see, a lot of times I will fall for the terms. I don't think of it through, but
yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was, she's having a bad.
It was like during a very charged time. So, whatever. It wasn't cool. You shouldn't have said it. Now, there was a completely different response to her being allowed to basically treat every white person exactly the same. As she complains, everybody treats every black person exactly the same. Their response to that was, our Star Wars community is one of hope and inclusivity. We do not stand for bullying and racism. We support Christina Ariel because they made the narrative she was being bullied by.
Okay, so that's LucasArts gaslighting white people then. So she's been racist, and they just sort of vague platitudes about being against racism. That's gaslighting.
Yeah.
So look, this is why you should be watching the fucking Mandalorian, right? Or giving Disney any money. They're a bunch of scumbags.
They are. The thing is, these people always, even in the comment section, I bet if you go down in the comment section, we'll find guys saying, I stopped watching Netflix or whatever. But I mean, these guys ran to the Mandalorian as soon as it showed up. They should have dumped this as soon as they ruined Luke Skywalker. It should have just went, but they didn't.
Do you know when they should have dumped this? Mentality principles. As soon as the Forces Female T-shirt came out.
Yes, and that was a lot longer than that.
Yes.
But these guys would just, they just say, well, we'll just keep buying it. We'll just keep buying it.
Racists.
Yeah.
That's what they put out in the media. Meanwhile, Gina Carano was bullied for months because she didn't put pronouns in her fucking bio and because she liked conservative posts. And I mean, I don't agree with everything Gina Carano posts.
No.
I mean, I don't think that I'm not a lot of you are gonna get pissed about this, but I don't think COVID's a hoax and all that either. I don't think math.
Did she say that COVID was a hoax?
Yeah, Gina's a COVID denier. She's a lunatic.
Then that's misinformation, and no platform actually wants that kind of misinformation on.
Yes, she got herself fired for being a lunatic. Let's be real here.
Do much, but wear them so you don't touch your face. It makes people feel safer, whatever. But I don't agree with everything she posts. But I understand that, that's her opinion. That doesn't affect any bearing on doing her job. I don't like what Christina Ariel posted. However, I understand that's her opinion.
It does have a bearing on her job, okay? Publicity is a part of business. You bring a company bad publicity, you damage their profits. I've spoken to people online who've had family members die from COVID, right? So what she's saying is actually very offensive, and even if you take morality out of it and you should bring profits into it, it will damage the corporation's profits. They're always seen hiring nut jobs, COVID deniers. I'm sorry. She got herself fired.
Well, the thing is, too, this woman here just said, well, wearing masks makes you feel comfortable. Even she is still bad. I mean, look, doctors and nurses have worn masks for generations in the operating room. How can they not work? If they didn't work, they wouldn't do it.
Yes.
About white people, and it probably has nothing to do with her job. That being said, the way they're treating the situations are completely different, and there's no equality or fairness across this.
No, it's basically, it seems like the story group is defending their people using Star Wars social media to defend their people. And they've been, gunning for Gina Carano for a while. Now, to be completely fair, I would not say some of the stuff that Gina Carano said online, given that you knew the crosshairs were on your back.
But I also think why is she?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think she had crosshairs until she said these crazy things.
Yes.
So they're acting like they wanted to get rid of her because she was this wonderful right-wing goddess,
Yes.
and these crazy things was the excuse.
Looking at tweets, I think Gina's mentally ill. To be honest, I think she's a lunatic. She has some serious issues, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I do think
Thinking, why can't I say
I've
something?
got to say, like again, I do think she's getting bullied by the feminists. They are going after her, especially the intersectional feminists, right? So
They're allowed to say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And she's also kind of standing up for herself because they're telling her that she can't have her bio the way she wants. Oh, which by the way, go back up a minute. Yeah. Christina Ariel doesn't have the pronouns on her bio either. So, oh my God, she must be a phobe. So hurry up, you might have to cancel her because she's clearly against LGBT.
Pause. Okay.
They are right here.
Yes. Okay. The pronouns, they're very selective in who the trans go after. Trans are a section of feminism, right? Intersectional feminism, they're allied with intersectional feminism. So they're going to be selective about who they go after. So, for example, so 1 minute it'll say, oh yeah, sex is just a social construct, non-binary, you don't have to define yourself. And then they're going after the Gina woman for not defining herself in a bio, saying it's transphobic. They're not consistent. Because it's not about the principle, it's about who they're going after. So they'll go after a right-wing female, okay, because she's not a feminist, she's not seen as part of the sisterhood, okay, because right-wing politics is seen as male, she's seen as a male supporter, unfortunately. That's how it works. But they go after men far more than they have to go after Gina as well. But they're not consistent. Do not expect any consistency from these people.
No, exactly. I mean, this woman here is a part of the club, so they don't target her.
Yes.
So.
People.
She's going to get canceled anyway because the show doesn't bring any numbers.
But beyond that though, she's this because she doesn't have pronouns in her bio. Obviously, she's not. That doesn't make her against trans people, LGBTQ people, whatever. Obviously, it doesn't mean that because it doesn't.
Okay, it shows you what a lack of consciousness right-wing people have and how stupid they are. Okay, she used the feminist term LGBTQ. That's a feminist invented term, and she used it to describe queer people. So even right-wingers fall into the feminist traps. They're using the feminist language. They've been brainwashed successfully, basically. As Orwell said, if you redefine language, if you get to people to use your terms, you control you control them in a lot of ways. You control the consciousness. LGBTQ is a completely invalid term. There's no such thing as LGBTQ. It's an offensive term, actually. Okay? If you describe groups of queer people, use the correct term for them. Gay men, lesbians, trans. Don't call them LGBTQ, like one big homogenous blob. I'm telling you something. Lesbians do not have the same interests as gay men. That's one thing for sure.
Oh, yes. And they don't like being lumped in with them half the time.
Yes.
But that's what this has been going on. She could have said, I like kittens, and they would have been cancel her because she didn't like puppies. It doesn't matter what she does. And I'm just effing tired of double standards. And Lucasfilms, Disney, I don't know what to tell you.
If you're tired, what are these guys going to do about it? They don't believe in protesting.
Yes.
So they better suck it up.
Well, they're both libertarians, right? But they're libertarians. They believe corporations should be able to do what they want.
Exactly.
Okay. So, these corporations can cancel whoever they want then, according to the worldview.
Well, we all know that the libertarians are sophist, so it's just about themselves. You can cancel anyone you like except for me,
Yes, or anyone I like.
Yes.
You must love controversy. You must love losing money. That is the only thing I can effing think of at this point.
Yeah, I think.
So I know this is a bit petty, but her voice is grating. I'm sorry.
I know. I turned the volume down. She started ranting.
If he was smart, he would tell his wife he's going to get another person to go back and forth with him.
I don't think they fully understand what the backlash to this is.
No.
Go ahead.
the feminists do understand what the backlash is. Okay, these feminists, they don't care if LucasArts gets burnt to the ground. They don't care. They'll just go to another corporation, be a diversity hire. They don't care. It's just as simple as that.
Matter of fact, they're having the greatest time of their lives, doing what they want to do, spitting in the face, and seeing these male nerds just take it.
Yeah.
They love the backlash. When these guys tweet and do videos like this, they love it.
Yeah.
It's like Cartman saying, "Oh, let me lick your tears." They love that.
Yes.
Hey, Disney, remember The Last Jedi? Yeah, multiply that times 100.
Do you remember the reaction people had when you brought Luke Skywalker back, and how you were such a goodwill for like a week until Lucasfilm Story Group and Star Wars Twitter and that ruined it? You remember that?
Yeah, exactly. So when The Mandalorian came out after that, did you guys dump it? No.
Yeah, you're gonna lose all that because Gina Carano, when we put the trending, I don't think you have
No, they aren't going to lose all that. As soon as they throw another bone, all these guys will be up there again.
Yeah.
the thing right now. But there was a picture, we were looking at Google Trends, and Mandalorian was trending like way high. Gina Carano was like under it, and then the High Republic was almost flatlined.
Yeah, the High Republic's not doing well at all.
Yeah, there.
Gina Carano. Now, obviously, since the show's been off, season 2 has been done for a couple weeks now. It's dropped a little bit,
but it's still far higher than the High Republic.
Yeah, Gina Carano still gets a lot of search.
Yeah, she was like that most like on IMDb, like she was like their #1 search.
One of the most
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I know that the action figure sold out. And what the kicker is, when her character came out, everybody was thrilled because it was like, oh my gosh, we got a strong female character and she's done really well and done right. And they loved her until they decided that she owed them her platform to promote, pronouns. And she said no. That's literally what she did to start this. And then they started tracking her because, well, obviously she doesn't want to put pronouns in her bio.
I don't think she did that to start that. I think there was.
I think she probably did deny them this, because this is how these trans people do ads. They are really irrational, vindictive, and controlling. So I wouldn't be surprised if this actually did happen. Yeah. But no one forced Gina to rant on right-wing politics and deny COVID.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
And comparing the right versus left political divide, and how right-wingers are treated to the Jews before the Second World War. No one forced her to do that.
Exactly.
She made herself a more vulnerable target.
That must mean she's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Republican. Oh, yeah. We can't have that. So they're going to start.
She probably isn't a Republican just because she's probably too right wing to vote Republican.
But there you go. They're making it a Republican Democrat thing.
Yes.
Tracking whatever she liked, whatever she tweeted, and then they started like harassing her for that.
I agree 100% with Black Sage D. He says, I don't think Lucasfilm understands. They've essentially made Gina Carano a martyr now. It's like what Obi-Wan said. If you strike me down, I should become more.
She's a martyr to right-wing lunatics like her.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's left-wing or moderate, or even a moderate right-winger who's not extreme like these guys, they're going to see what she's tweeted and they're going to say, this woman's nuts. They won't have anything to do with her at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Powerful than you could possibly imagine. By firing Gina Carano, it's the definitive end for Star Wars. The Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, Cara Dune, that was the last bit of goodwill that a lot of fans had for Star Wars.
This whole.
No, I'm telling you now, you guys go for it every time. I guarantee you, if they start saying, oh, here's something, they won't say, I'm sorry, but if they'll say, oh, here's something new and improved that you guys will like, they'll go for it again.
Yes.
The situation the whole way around could easily have been resolved with, you're not allowed to tweet stuff like, if you want to do this, work on this stuff, you can't.
How much farther do we need to go in this particular video?
Let's get going for a bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah, on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, I would say that, and we've talked about this before, like, I think that should be an across-the-board policy for everybody. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't do anybody any good. It brings negative attention to, product, the show,
So now they're admitting.
Go ahead. But it's a dodge. Oh, don't go on Twitter. It brings bad publicity. That's sort of a dodge as well. These feminists get to tweet "kill all men." I've seen feminists in government positions tweet "kill all men," and they don't get fired
Yes,
from their
of
jobs.
course.
So okay. So look, and also I think some people should be cancelled for what they tweet. Like that black woman tweeting racist things should be fired. And I think Gina actually should have been fired from a job after what she tweeted. She shouldn't be hassled or stalked by these trans ideologue nut jobs, but she should have lost her job because she's an idiot and should have known better, right?
Yeah.
A corporation. Look, if I was the head of a corporation, I would have fired her, right? I'll say to people, look, I don't care what your political opinions are, but if you broadcast them publicly and they make something look bad, you're going to get fired. Keep them to yourself if you work for me. That's what my policy would be. And she broke that policy. Yeah. And I'll say, look, if you deny COVID and you spread that disinformation, you'll be gone from this corporation. That's what my policy would be.
Yeah, keep your flat earther ideas away.
Yes.
That's basically what they are. They're flat earther ideas.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the next video? We don't need to listen to this any longer.
Okay. Now this one, they are talking about Kevin Sorbo, Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Anime Con banned. That's even, this is Vic Magnolia. That's even more important. But let's see if we can start about here.
For certain individuals that have been canceled, and anyone.
Let me back up again. He's got Mick here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Account that has over 500,000 followers, and not long after that, I saw that Tug posted that there's a convention going on that dared to bring in Vic Mignogna, and they actually had their.
Oh, I just noticed something. I'm sorry. I noticed this is a little bit of a hot topic. Joss Whedon slammed by Buffy stars.
Oh, up there, yes.
We'll have to check that out. So do you know what that is? That's basically the people we helped make into stars, boosting their careers. They're turning on him now.
Yes.
That's the case. That's it. Good.
We could actually look at that too if you want to do it.
Later, we could do that another time. Whedon's a male feminist, by the way.
Yeah. Of
so
course.
He deserves what he gets. Yeah, he deserves what he gets.
It looks so good on him. I've lost all pity for these guys.
Yes.
So now, where were we at? Big Johnny. Here we go.
So I don't know what's going on with that specifically, but it does seem like they're not going to be allowed to take money because we've got people who are, hell bent on canceling all means of support for certain individuals that have been canceled, and anyone who's.
They're trying to stop them from
Stop using the term cancelled. They're being stalked and harassed and bullied.
Exactly. They're trying to stop Vic from making any money at all. By the way, this is what I'm talking about. Gina Carano, they're not going to do that to her.
Yes.
When she switched up to that new job with the Ben Shapiro, they are not traveling after her and trying to get her fired from that.
Yes.
But they're definitely doing it for. And Vic has tweeted nothing.
Okay. We've got to make one thing clear. You can't compare the situation of Vic to Gino. They're completely different things. Vic was falsely accused, right?
Yes.
And he's still getting punished for it, for a crime he didn't commit. Okay, he hasn't been convicted in a court of law over what he did. So he's actually being. The term lynch mob is actually accurate here. He's being stalked by a feminist lynch mob and punished by society for being male and accused.
Yes.
But I don't even have that much sympathy from Vic, to be honest, because he frames it in the wrong way. He's not prepared to fight back against these feminists in the correct manner.
Yes.
So,
and even if he wins, he won't do it. He won't put it back to the next guy.
yes.
He'll just say, "Yeah, I'm no longer in trouble." Dust his hand and keep going.
Yes.
Supports them. We're seeing this with Gina Carano for sure. Now, people say that Gina Carano is getting to work with Ben Shapiro now in a new movie, and that's great, except this does.
Like, that's what I'm talking about, is that even though they're different things, she's not going to lose her job. She's going to jump to another job.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of right-wing men eager to hire her, basically.
Yes.
They're going to welcome her with open arms. There's no one willing to welcome, apart from he's got a loyal fan base, but there's no one really there to offer the open arms to Vic.
Yes.
Is there?
He's on his own.
Yes.
Does kind of feel like she's being relegated to the conservative ghetto right? And once
So
you've
she
been
relegated herself.
targeted for
She relegated
cancellation, your chances of going back to
I
the
just wanted you, yeah, she relegated herself. I just want to make sure you were heard.
Yes.
mainstream are pretty much slim to none. You know, it's been my experience, short of a full-throated apology, and even then, you're on the watch list. You know, once you're canceled, you're pretty much done in the mainstream. So now people do
Also,
jump.
apologizing outright actually makes things worse.
Yes.
You may as well go down in flames, you know, with the ship.
And what a lot of male feminists do, because it's so brainwashed, they're brainwashed into thinking what anything a female says is valid. So they get falsely accused, they know it's false, and they sort of do this half-hearted apology. He says, yeah, I didn't do it, but you felt that I did it, and I made you feel uncomfortable, and I'm really sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable. And like, to a lot of people, that comes across as guilty, because they go, if you're innocent, why are you apologizing? but they're sort of trapped, because there was a WWE superstar who was falsely accused of rape, and he made an angry rap video called "Consensual Penis," right?
Oh, yeah.
And this mangina attacked him, criticized him. Basically, he said, oh yeah, he's attacking a woman when he's doing this. And I was like, yeah, he's attacking a woman because there's two possibilities here. He's either innocent or he's guilty. Okay, if he's guilty of rape, of course he's going to attack the woman to defend himself if he's guilty, right? Because it's a smart thing to do. He's either guilty. I don't think he's guilty. I think he's innocent. If he's innocent, of course he's going to be fucking angry and attack the woman and go after her in a rap. But this mangina was going, oh yeah, he's angry, he's not valid. How dare he be angry at the woman who falsely accused him? That's the ultimate form of gaslighting, by the way, erasing his plight. It's like, he can't comprehend that he's a male who's been attacked and he's angry. So these male feminists are sort of trapped in a way. All men are trapped by this. They can't fight back because it's seen as attacking women. Oh, this woman accused you falsely. How dare you attack her? Right? If he apologizes, that's seen as an admission of guilt. Men are trapped in a kafta bind from all sides, a kafta trap. It's a quadruple bind, in other words. They're trapped from all angles.
Oh my God! What a world to be living in.
Yes.
I wish I could turn back.
We live in a Monty Python sketch, basically.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Jump ship. We saw this with people working in Comicsgate or whatever. They started doing their own things, but then you see that you get canceled on the financial end too. You know, you're told.
I want to point another thing out.
Events, go make your own.
Pause. All right. This is a typical male or behavior pattern. Men get attacked and he reactively flee somewhere else and try and get on with life somewhere else. That's what Comic Gates is. So the feminists take over comics, right? They start attacking men in the comic industry, right wing or left wing, but they mostly go after right wing men because they're the easiest targets. Okay. And the men flee and go, oh, I should do my own thing, I'll create my own platform. And then the feminists go after them and go after the credit card companies and the online payment companies to get them defunded. What the men should have done is they stood their ground and fought them in the mainstream in the first place, not just reactively flee and try and set up shop elsewhere.
I've actually seen guys in comment section say, well, I'm just going to run over here. And then I would ask them, I said, well, what happens when they come over there? Well, I'll just go on to the next thing.
Yes.
And I said, really? So everything you would love and admire, you're going to let it just burn to the ground? Let them burn it to the ground?
Yeah.
Just run away? I mean, that's pathetic.
Men are really passive, reactive, and cowardly and weak.
Yeah.
Men are socially weak. The strongest MMA fighter in the world is a social midget. Brock Lesnar, who's a former UFC champion, at one time he was unemployed because he decided not to work because he had lots of money saved up. His wife Sable kicked him out of his own home and demanded he get a job, and he did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, men are socially weak to women.
Oh yeah.
You know, if some male midget went up to another male and tried to get him to force him into work, that male midget would be beaten up.
Yeah.
Comic books, go make your own movies, and then when you do it, they try to cut.
When they try to make their own comics, it's a useless endeavor. They're not going to outdo Marvel and DC Comics.
But that's not the point. Anyway, it doesn't matter who they outdo them or not. Anyway, because they didn't fight for their rights within those companies. Okay, so they're just going to get followed and cancelled wherever they go.
But I mean, they're giving up something so great by not fighting for it.
Yes.
You'd like to have Marvel and DC, because basically the superheroes genre has been overdone anyway. I bet it was going to die out no matter what.
Oh yeah, comics have been dying. That's that you could do a very long hangout on that. Comics are dying.
Yes.
Sales are dying, but the feminists have come in and they're just killing it quicker. But
Yes.
they're attacking all the men within these companies, and they're loving it that as well.
Oh my God.
That female feminist writer who took over 4 and made her call one of the villains a misogynist man baby, whiner, right? She was loving that. Like I said, a member of the KKK would love to get a job within Marvel and have one of the main heroes rant against black people.
Oh yeah.
Right? They wouldn't care if the company went under. If they got to do it before the company went under. They would enjoy every second of it.
Yeah.
It'd be an act defacing. In fact, they'd probably enjoy destroying the company for shits and giggles, like these feminists are.
Well, that's why I say, that it's the gender KKK.
Do you know what it is? It's like a bully just kicking in the other children's playground.
Yeah.
That's it.
And these guys, they'll actually brag like, well, the bully came up and punched me in the face and he hurt his hand on my face. I could take it all day. It's like, man, what a pathetic.
Off your revenue. They go to the bank. They complain to the bank. They complain to PayPal. They complain to Kickstarter. They complain to Indiegogo.
Like, they actually were successful at this. This is shocking to me.
Yeah. What happened to us? We had a group called Pink Pill Watch on Discord and it got falsely reported and taken down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing because they're organised, they're ruthless, they're determined, and they keep on going and they keep on going. And most of all, they get no pushback. They get no pushback. Look, feminists in the mainstream get to spew their venom with impunity. So they've got a safe base in the public to operate from. If the right wingers were serious, they're strong as they like to claim, they'll go after the feminists and put them out of business, one way or the other.
But they aren't.
They're
Come
not
on.
going to. No.
I would
happen because it takes collective action and principles and being able to think outside yourself. Like these right wingers, as long as they're doing fine at the time, they don't care. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
This is male nature in general.
Matter of fact, this channel, which I call a Cope channel, it's more than that. It's like this guy's probably making a good buck if he's got Patreon, and that's what he cares about. And as long as he wants this to keep going.
Yes.
As long as he himself is, with his wife and nothing's happening to him personally, then he's okay with all this.
He's a Cope outrage. I call them you call them Cope channels. I call them outrage, gossip, drama channels.
Yes.
It's Kevin Kelly did this. Kevin Kelly did that. They're reporting every little rumor. And Kevin Kennedy's been sidelined. Star Wars doesn't get back on track. They're trying to fix Star Wars. They're saying this for like a year now. No, I don't buy it. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. It's really trivial. I should say it's trivial. This is important, but I mean,
the Vic thing's important.
Yes.
Right, but they're covering the issue. They're just covering it all from the wrong frame, from the wrong angle. Exactly. And they care more about entertainment media, they care more about the entertainment being destroyed than other issues that are more important. Vic getting falsely accused is a big issue because that can happen to any man.
Exactly.
Johnny Depp was told by his ex-wife, "I'm a woman, no one will believe you, I can abuse you with impunity." She said this to his face.
And she was right. And she's
proven right. Yes.
And it doesn't end. Basically, once you've been canceled, especially if you're working in pop culture, I think, because you're in the public eye, they basically want you homeless in a box on the street so they can take pictures and put them on Twitter.
If you're in a popular eye, you've got some protection, actually. Vic has got fans supporting him, right? He's got well-wishers. If you're just the average Joe, and you've been fired from your job, no one's going to give a fuck about you. You're going to be a loser. Like, I was talking to some right winger in a group. I banned him. Right, he was a real moron. But I got a gaming group, and I was talking to him, and he was basically talking about, people who've been fired unfairly are just losers and just need to find a new job.
Yeah.
And this is, so this is what. So if you've been fired unfairly from your job, the average right-wing male will think that about you. They're not going to. When it happens to them, it's going to be the biggest outrage in the world. But when it happens to someone else, they're just a loser.
Yes.
And they only care about Vic because he's part of people's childhoods. He's the voice of Dragon Ball Z, basically. Yeah. That's it. And Dragon Ball Z is a load of shit anyway. It's overrated enemies of all time. It was just there, and lots of kids having to watch it when we were growing up. That's it.
Twitter and laugh at you being homeless in a box on the street. That is the end goal. That is the end goal of this, is complete and utter destruction of individuals whose
male individuals
or
here.
Complete utter destruction of male individuals.
Yes.
Gender neutral again. It's a dodge.
Tell me, why are you right wingers always talking like you're tough guys when you're so cowardly all the time?
Yes.
Like, just say it. Say it's they're males. Kevin Sorbo is a guy. This guy. All you have is that Gina girl recently, and like you said, she's got hired. There's a bunch of thirsty men. Well, maybe thirsty is the wrong word, but that just love her, and she's going to have income.
And she wasn't zapped for no reason. These men were zapped for no reason. It's a completely different thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe them speaking out of turn has gotten them into hot water. And it wasn't that long ago that 99.9% of Hollywood, 99.9% of people working in the entertainment industry in any capacity.
And they're doing the old Hollywood thing.
Yes.
They always want to say, oh, there's this degenerate Hollywood that's doing all this,
had skeletons in their own closet. And a lot of times the people that are cheerleading this kind of behavior have a lot of skeletons in their own closet. They're just trying to deflect.
So
let's go after.
He's talking about the males, basically. There's these left wingers, there's a bunch of creepy males who are the real misogynists, who are the real abusers of women. And look at Harvey Weinstein, he's the real abuser. That's what he's talking about, really, in coded language. So he's attacking other groups being creepy instead of standing his ground and trying to defend men on principle.
This is standard modus operandi.
Well, men, it's cowardly male behavior, typical.
Yeah.
They're so-and-so because they're popular, and if people are busy chasing them with pitchforks and torches, they're going to leave me alone, and they're not going to look into my own problematic past or my own problematic tweet.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's a conspiracy theory. Okay, so this feminist-led attack, Me Too, right? The forces female Star Wars getting taken over, all these females attacking men, feminists attacking men, right? That's happened because of the past histories of some men, and they want to distract people away and get other people attacked instead. That doesn't make one lick of sense.
Oh my God,
this guy's a moron.
As cheerleaders have lots of skeletons in their own closet. So I'm just kind of wondering where this is going to end.
I could see why they're also bullying Sorbo, because he's one of those real right-wing Christian types.
Yes.
You did that movie where the kid got in a coma and saw God, and
look, he should be bullied. Basically, he should be bullied. Sorbo looks like an idiot to me, but he should be left alone and left in peace. But these are feminist vultures. They always go for vulnerable targets. They're like psychopathic predators.
Yes.
Like a furry friend of mine was getting targeted by them and harassed and stalked, for example. I won't say his name, because they see furry as a sign of weakness. And they probably see, the thing is, quite rightfully so, they probably see right-wing groups as weak because they're shunned by society, and also they don't work together and fight back. So they see them as weak prey.
Matter of fact, they know they probably have a great time because they know the first thing these guys do is find another man or another group of men to attack.
Yes.
It's like that guy, the couple, the girl and the couple mouths off at some guy, and the guy punches her boyfriend.
Yes.
You know, it's that sort of thing. It's like he
Yes.
knows the woman's above him, so
Yes.
he takes his frustration out on her boyfriend,
Yes.
who might have just sat there politely.
Musing about it somewhat on Twitter that, you know, I naively thought after the election that maybe people would calm the fuck down.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, no. So, Vic, what does these false accusations got to do with the election? Okay. What does Kathleen Kennedy? Okay, she became head of LucasArts in 2013 or 2014. What's that got to do with the election? Right? These intersectional feminists attacking men and stalking them and smearing them. What has that got to do with the election? Nothing.
Exactly. I mean, why would he think things would change after?
Because he's trying to bring his politics into this. That's what he's trying to do. He's hijacking this important issue to make it about his own pet issue.
Oh my God, these people are losers.
Stop. Okay, stop. I just want to point one thing out. I did want to listen to. We don't need to go back, but I did want to listen to more of the first video because he talked about being a libertarian. In the first, he'll talk about it again on this video, but I wanted to show it as a pattern. I just want to point it out. This guy's a libertarian, so he's an extreme right winger. All libertarians are, by the way. I'll explain why when he talks about being a libertarian.
Okay. You want to go back to the other one? Or
No. I said you don't have to. I just said you don't have to.
Okay.
Tits.
Kill the flow of the video.
Yeah, we let her say it. She's a teenager now. She can say what she wants. But you know, people aren't. It actually seems like it's increasing. That they're ramping up the cancellation efforts. And for all the people who say the cancel culture.
Yeah, of course they're not canceling, but they're bullying more because
we've got to come up with a new term. Okay. Yeah. Like there's not cancel culture, it's male victimization culture.
Yes.
That's what it really is.
Is exactly. And that of course it's ramping up because it is only getting worse. It's all the human nature, it just there's nothing to stop the train. So it's
high status men are getting it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Culture is not real. It's in Wikipedia. Wikipedia is actually allowing it.
Well, that's too bad.
So what? Wikipedia is run by feminists.
Yeah.
To be called a modern form of ostracism. This is like shunning. This is like religious organizations shunning people. You've been shunned. You've been shunned.
He's using an analogy, or it's like a religious organization shunning people. Why can't you just say feminists are stalking, harassing, and shunning people, and ostracizing them? Just say it. You can't. Either he's the biggest moron in the world. He doesn't know what feminism is, or he's dishonest. It's one of the two.
Yeah. Well, considering every one of these guys have talked about the force is female, I would have to say it's more on dishonesty.
Yes.
Yeah.
The wrong things on social media or being friends with the wrong people. We're going to talk about Kevin Sorbo. Apparently, he's got problematic friendships. And that's part of the reason he's been canceled. We know Dean Cain's been canceled, again, another conservative. We know that Gina Carano canceled and off to the conservative ghetto of the Daily Wire with her. And is that where...
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say something.
Well, he said Dean Cain is conservative?
Yeah.
Well, there's another guy, like you say, other than this Gina girl,
yes,
all the rest are men.
Yes.
And so, I mean, this is another reason why they jump on this, because they don't want to admit that it's just men getting zapped.
Yes.
They don't want to admit it.
And also they care about women more as well, so they get more outraged.
Yes, of course. Can you remember what you were going to say?
I forgot. Let's carry on.
Things are going to go. You know, any wrong thinker is going to get pushed on to somewhere. And it starts with...
This wrong thinker is another right-wing term. It's another dodge term which I find infuriating. It's a wrong thinker. It's not wrong think that gets you persecuted. It's being male. No, there's two things that get you persecuted. Being an extreme right-winger, saying stupid things, or being male, if you're innocent of anything.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Gina had to say something crazy before she was attacked as a woman.
Oh yes, okay. Kevin Sorbo. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Kevin Sorbo was being attacked for having the wrong type of friends, right? But meanwhile, you can be friends with a radical feminist who wants to kill all men, and you're not really touched for that.
No,
There is a double standard. Yes.
The more extreme voices like Alex Jones or what, and then they start moving to center, and now even moderates and libertarians are.
Alex Jones, I actually glad that he's gone. Tell you the truth.
Right. He was saying they're moderates and libertarians are getting attacked now. That is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Being targeted for cancellation. I mean, it's kind of scary. I think we see it more than other people see it because of the fact that we've been covering this stuff for so many years. But the speed, the haste at which it is escalating, gaining momentum, being more and more acceptable to basically call for somebody to be completely cast out of society is frightening. We should be frightened of this. It doesn't matter if you.
He is right.
This has been going on for years.
Yes.
And you don't give a fuck. You haven't given the men under attack haven't given a fuck about this happening to them as a collective. And they're not going to give a fuck anytime soon. This is one of the reasons why I've given up on men's issues. Because men are not willing to learn and men don't have any affinity over men.
Yeah. Well, you pointed out. Go ahead. Men
are the most pathetic group that's ever exist. That they're socially dominated by women are midgets, mental midgets compared to men, yet they still socially dominate them. It is pathetic. Pathetic.
Oh my God. It is. It's shocking. Look, a guy will only stand up for himself if the identity is something other than male.
Yes.
He'll get outraged if it's his creed or if it's his religion. It's just
he won't though. He'll only get outraged if he's defending himself from other men. If it's a bunch of women attacking what they like, their creed, their religion, they fold actually and let the women take over.
Well,
Christianity has let women take over the church,
yes,
more or less, completely. So men have got no principles. They're only willing to fight other men. And that's it.
Well, even gender-neutral terms are really just another way of saying these guys.
Yeah. So when they talk about leftists and when they take on leftists, they're talking about other groups of men.
Yes.
Agree with people or not, you should be very scared that anyone at any point in time can say or do the quote-unquote wrong thing and have their livelihood, their social media, their bank account obliterated.
Not anyone, any guy.
Yes. It's not quote-unquote saying or doing the wrong thing. It's quote-unquote getting accused at complete random.
Yes.
It's
even worse.
Yes.
You see, there's no watching what you say. You just have to be at the wrong time, at the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's exact same. I know people, they get pissy if you try to compare it to racist South, but it's completely comparable.
Yes.
It's like the black man who's just standing at the corner and white guys started to pound on him. It's the exact same thing.
Yes.
Because of some idiots on Twitter. Usually at the end of the day, that's what it is. And it's a pretty frightening.
Idiots on Twitter. These people have real clout.
Yes.
So
Kevin Kennedy's an idiot on Twitter, is she? Yeah. So the Violence Against Women Act that's been passed by the US Congress or Senate year after year, that's just idiots on Twitter. Yeah. Domestic violence protection orders that can get a man kicked out of his own home just a mere accusation of domestic violence. Those are idiots on Twitter, right? The UK police deliberately destroying evidence to get rape convictions up, been caught doing it. That's just idiots on Twitter. Come on, I can give countless more examples if I wanted to.
Well, like you say, you keep pointing out Johnny Depp, like everyone just turned on him. Like all the media did the idiots on Twitter make all the media just turn on him like this?
Thing. So I'm going to talk about that and talk about the Kevin Sorbo situation before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys.
Well, you were right. Pop culture news. That's what it's about.
We're over 176,000 subs. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
There's a lot of weak coping men out there.
So much. And we've, been talking about this stuff for years. I'm just shocked at how quickly.
Let's carry on. Don't pause it. Let's get on with it.
What's that?
Let's not pause here. Let's carry on.
Election would maybe have everybody calm down.
Let's get a little further.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
For dubious reasons. Speaking of bounding in the comics, I remember a year and a half ago that they were flagged as being like an alt-right site or something, and they were taken off of Facebook for a couple of days, and Facebook put them back, but didn't tell them what they actually did wrong. I think it's basically they will believe the flagger first, and then they'll circle back around.
No. Pause. They won't believe the flagger first. They'll bleed the feminist flagger first.
Yes.
He's talking about false flagging.
I'm sure if you're a guy and you attack one of these girls, they check in on it. Say, okay,
Yes.
this guy's wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll put a punishment out on you.
They'll put you back, but they're not going to apologize or anything. They never apologize, but we're seeing this with news articles too. We've had, some discussion about Pirates and Princesses, which is actually a Disney theme park blog that's been around for a number of years. Well, we've put a couple of posts up that I guess were a little political, and those posts seem to, sometimes hurt the site. It seems like those posts don't get circulated in Google News very much. I don't know if people are like flagging the site or flagging it on Facebook or what's going on.
How interesting that is. Let's get a little further ahead. A lot of his videos are empty.
Politics.
Hey, mind you, it's never consistent. It changes from day to day. What constitutes being one of them? If you're not one of them, you're against them, and you have to be obliterated.
He's using dodge terms then, basically. Yeah. He's talking about feminists here.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing it again.
It's just generic right-wing ranting about groupthink and outrage mobs and them and political correctness. It's just the same vague, empty terms that the right always use over and over again.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is, I would say, pathetic again. It's
rated. And, I guarantee you there are watch lists. There are certain websites and YouTube channels that are on the list. They're being watched, and they're just waiting, kind of like with Gina Carano. They're waiting for you to say the wrong thing so they can push the nuke button. And that's
but like I said,
scary.
Gina Carano, they weren't waiting for her to say the wrong thing. She said the wrong thing.
Yes.
Because they didn't want to attack a woman if they didn't have to.
Sorry, because, if you participate in that kind of culture, eventually they're going to turn on you. Eventually you're going to be on the list too. And this is a bunch of people whipped up into a feeding frenzy trying to keep themselves on.
Well, as you pointed out up here, they do turn on the guys. Eventually they all turn on the guys.
Yes.
Off of the list, I think. But I think if you really dug into the past of a lot of these people, a lot of the shit that they're supposedly calling out, the problematic behavior, I think you'll find out that they are actually participating in a lot of it too. They just
yeah.
No,
he's basically falsely accusing feminist men now.
Yeah.
So he's going, oh, they're the real misogynists and creeps. Like I said, he's actually done this before in a video. He's repeating himself, actually.
Yeah.
So it's not very well planned out, structured. So all these people accusing us that they're the real ones doing it. No, because most people doing the accusing are feminists, females. It's females doing it. And females not getting zapped for this sort of thing.
Okay, how much more longer do we want to go?
Jermaine Greer wrote a fucking book celebrating finding underage boys sexually attractive. And she said in the book that women are restrained from free sexual expression of underage boys and nonsense like that. Right? She never got zapped. Yeah? Do you think any man wrote a book like that that would last like 30 seconds in society?
Yeah. They might even have the police after them.
Yeah.
Investigations.
Yes.
Just goes to show that, like I say over and over again, people don't care about children. They only care about who's doing the crime.
Yeah. Women are free to do whatever they want, almost. It takes a lot of bad behavior of a woman to get them zapped. A woman has that Gino woman. She offended other women. That's why she got zapped.
Yes,
that's why. At the end of the day, it's not for men to decide socially. It's women who decide socially. Unfortunately.
Yes. Sadly enough.
Other people. So this isn't the first time Sorbo's been canceled. Back in 2018, Cliff Galbraith announced he turned down Kevin Sorbo for his comic convention, East Comic Con. His reasoning was that he's pals with Sean Hannity. I can't do that. Sorbo
who's Sean Hannity?
Banned on Twitter, saying he wrote.
What's that?
Who's Sean Hannity? I've never heard of him.
Oh, if you saw him, you would recognize him. He's just one of those right-wing nut jobs, pundits on TV.
So this person ostracizing Kevin Sorbo for having a right-wing friend, is he going to ostracize anyone for having a radical feminist friend? I doubt it.
Yeah.
And look, I do think I've got look. When it comes to turning up at conventions, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere why you ostracize people. Like, if you ostracize everyone for having a right-wing friend, you'd have to ostracize a lot of people. It is getting ridiculous.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Kevin Sorbo might have just met Sean Hannity on the show, and they're friendly to one another and talk to one another.
But the thing is, this looks like a lower status male, right? Trying to virtue signal and throw a high status male under the bus and up his own status. By saying, oh, look, this high status male, he's really problematic and right wing, and therefore I'm ostracizing him. And I'm going to keep my convention against him. That's what he's doing. He's trying to up his own status to women. Very primitive behavior. Yes.
What's even more odd is I've never even heard of this con, nor did my booking. Maybe they can't afford Kevin Sorbo. I don't know. And we're going to talk more about cons because Tug said about Vic Mignogna being problematic now, and if you support him, you're going to apparently have your Stripe account blocked or whatever.
Wait, I don't know what Stripe is. So you've ever heard
it's just Stripe. I've never heard of Stripe. It's just some social media. That's all we need to know.
He said, I've never even heard of the East Coast Comic-Con. They don't have any A-listers attending. I think they're looking for free publicity. He added, the left always screams about tolerance and freedom of speech, but it's a one-way street for them. Yeah, I consider myself a left-winger for a good number of years. I did, because freedom of speech was always important to me. Freedom of choice in living your own life, the way that you see fit, was always important to me. And those are things that I thought the left believed in. At one point, they did. And I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't get upset.
This guy clearly doesn't know what the left is. First of all, it's feminists attacking men like this, nothing to do with the left. And this guy, he talks about freedom of choice. What does he mean by freedom of choice? That's such a vague term anyway. No one has complete freedom of choice anyway. So this is nothing to do with freedom of choice. Men are getting attacked, full stop. What's this got to do with freedom of choice? He's making it's about right-wing platitudes now.
Yes.
Right-wing platitudes love to sprout nonsense about freedom of choice. And the right don't back freedom of choice anyway. So they're hypocrites.
They are. And the freedom of speech is another thing I've mentioned before. Because it's put up on a pedestal, they use it as a shield term. I can't defend myself as a man, but I'll defend myself under this sacred thing. Freedom of speech. I'm not defending myself. I'm defending freedom of speech. Yes. It's such a loser, cowardly way to go.
Having a different point of view. He would then state the left gets so angry and they go crazy. What are you going to do? It's what they are. While it's unclear.
No. I'm sorry. I'm seeing the right section. Large sections of right try to have a coup in the White House. They're the ones that go crazy and get angry, right? So this is just typical. You see, what he's trying to do, he's trying to pretend he's like a neutral person just reporting it. He's just bringing up what right-wing nonsense Kevin is saying, basically, to worm his right-wing politics into it. He's hijacking. This is why these issues get derailed all the time as well, by right-wingers. We want to make it about the left versus right war, or right versus left war, whatever.
Oh my God. And everything they say, as you say, is projection.
Yes.
They're the ones who are the big babies who couldn't, it didn't go their way politically, so they wanted to burn things down.
Yes.
You know. Book, the actor has been quite outspoken in his criticism of the Biden administration. Recently, he posted to Twitter, imagine getting $183,000 a year to say circle back 30 plus times a day. Okay, he also wrote no more kids and kids.
Means nothing. Let's see if we can go get a
look. No. Stop. He's going to lead to something I want to reply to.
Okay.
Ages now, it's unoccupied migrant children living in overflow facilities. So much better. Yeah, he does, tweet his hot takes. So did Gina Carano. You don't have to agree with what they say. I don't agree with everything that they've said, but you can't say that you believe in freedom of speech and then say, well, we believe in the freedom to express and say whatever.
Okay,
Not-
this is a straw man as well. Okay, the feminists attacking people never said they were freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So why is he bringing up freedom of speech then? It is a dodge. It's just a way to dodge the issue, basically. Okay, and these feminists, or even the ones who do say they're for freedom of speech, they'll still take this freedom of speech away from men and keep it for themselves. That's their end goal, basically.
Yeah.
And we've already seen this action, because if you've got a female account on YouTube, you're freer to say things than if you have a male one.
Exactly.
We've tested this ourselves. There's certain phrase words you won't be able to say as a man, but you'll be able to get to say as a female.
Yes, on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean the hashtag kill all men. You can't do the hashtag kill all women. They'll just adapt that.
You probably go to prison if you did that in the UK. But yeah, there's certain phases. There's certain anti-feminist things that you say on YouTube. They'll just delete the comment and make it disappear. You've seen it happen multiple times.
Yes.
Here. So speaking of cons, I saw that Tug posted this, that 8-Bit Shinobi announced a convention that would include Vic Mignogna. His convention was brigaded against, attacked, called a platform for hate, and that wasn't enough. He reports that weirdos are going after his payment processor, Stripe. They create,
like you were talking about, you're using the word weirdos.
Yes.
It's the
I'm seeing that a lot on these right-wing coat channels now. They're using the term weirdo because it's a gender-neutral term, but that mostly means men.
Yes, of course.
Okay, these bunch of weirdos. No, these bunch of feminists, females, false accusers. They're not weird, and weirdo implies harmless, powerless. Oh, these are powerless weirdos. They're not powerless. They're not weirdos, right? Henry VIII, when he puts you in the Tower of London and he's going to chop your head off, he's not a weirdo acting up. He's a powerful king, and he's going to execute you, right? When the Nazis come in and kick your head in, right? If you're a Jew, they're not weirdos, right? The term weirdo implies being. It's a strongman coat narrative. Oh, these weirdos. Look how weird they are. They're a bunch of losers. No, they're not weirdos. They're your social betters, and they're proving it by ruining your life.
Yeah, what's your name? Clownfish, aptly named.
Yeah.
These people are bullying you. They've got power over you.
He's not getting bullied right now, but they're bullying Vic.
Yes.
They're bullying Vic.
But they could turn around and get this guy anytime they want if he was worthwhile. He's just too low to be on their radar.
They'll probably zap him eventually as well. Trust me.
Yeah.
And then when he's
nothing they just ruin. Now this is actually
what were you
comment.
When he loses his YouTube channel, his wife's going to divorce him.
Oh yes, that happens an awful lot.
We saw this happen with some people on Patreon. The Patreon actually banned individuals that they thought were wrong thinkers or they got complaints about, and they went after their.
Okay, and the thing that also the term wrong thing.
Yeah.
I want to point out how the term wrong thing is used in a very vague, nebulous way, which can mean anything. So these are who's getting banned from Patreon? Is the KKK getting banned from Patreon, or is run-of-the-mill conservative? Is an anti-feminist? Is someone who's a little bit naughty or rude? Is someone completely innocent? Right? The term wrong thinker is just used very vaguely, so you don't know what he's talking about, actually. I distrust vague language like this. He's not communicating clearly. Right?
But at the same time, analyzing, I really think these guys, they do know when they use it. Like when they use these vague terms, they know exactly who he's saying.
They're trying to hide the right-wing politics and make
Yes.
it more acceptable. That's what they're doing.
Because Stripe doesn't want to deal with this shit, and they're probably feeding them a bunch of horse shit. They're probably like, they're alt-right Nazis. They're Nazis, and you're giving money.
Okay, Vic Minola. No. No one believes he's an alt-right Nazi, right? Including the companies that are cancelling him. Okay, no one believes that. So your story doesn't add up here.
Boys to their comic book convention. Or something like that. That's what So this is what Stripe said to them. Stripe said this is a reminder that 8-Bit Shinobi will no longer be able to accept payments through Stripe beginning on 2/14, 2021. That'd be tomorrow. Once again, we're sorry we can't work with your business. If you feel you've received this message in error, please contact us right away. So they're making phone calls.
What needs to happen? These companies that do this, they need to get sued. And there needs to be government regulation for them to stop them doing this. And what it stems from, okay, Vic got bullied by false accusations. He got victimized by false accusations. Okay, and they got away with it. And he's trying to get on with his life. He's trying to turn up other conventions to make a living, and they're going after him. They're just going to keep on following him, hounding him, and harassing him. Okay, and it's got to stop. It's only going to stop by collective action by men.
Exactly.
And men are never going to do this, unfortunately. I don't think men are psychologically capable of doing this.
Well, they've proven it.
Men turn on each other. It's been proven by the Pro-Male Collective how they turns on me and you and other members of the Pro-Male Collective. And the men's rights movement turns on each other all the time as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is such an insulting email because, once again, we're sorry that we can't work with you, but they don't say why.
Yes.
And if you feel you have received this message, these contacts, so he's going to contact them, and then they're going to give him another useless.
Yeah, that's what happened to me on Discord when my group got falsely reported by people, feminists, basically. I was accused of inciting violence. I said, what violence did I incite? And he just kept on giving me canned email over and over again, 8 times in a row. I kept on asking, can you please tell me what violence I incited? Can you please provide proof? They just kept on saying this same canned email over and over again.
That was actually more insulting than telling you to screw off. I'd rather someone just tell me to screw off.
I'd rather say, this is a feminist platform. Some feminists want you zapped. You got to go. That'd be more honest. But they're not going to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're making phone calls to payment processors. They're making phone calls to advertisers. They're making phone calls to banks. We've seen people's bank accounts get shut down. So despite saying, live and let live,
okay, pause.
I mean, if you've got activists that are...
Okay, this is happening to men. This is happening to men. The bank account thing is absolutely outrageous.
Yes.
Okay? A bank is actually a vital thing. Look, I don't even think neo-Nazis should have their bank accounts shut down unless they're terrorists, to be honest. Okay? I think terrorism or connections to the mob, those are the only examples I can think of, like getting a bank account shut down, and that's got to be done by a court of law, right? The fact that the bank accounts are being shut down is very, very troubling to me. Very troubling.
Oh, this is incredible. That's why I couldn't believe it. This is one thing, because a bank is not these online shit. Yes. I mean, this is something like, can you imagine someone said, this guy's got a bad rep, just shut him down.
Yeah. It's atrocious, basically.
It's got to be illegal. There's got to be a way. Like, I would be suing, as best I could, say, you're like he's saying, they just want you to starve in the street and become a homeless person.
Convinced that you are the worst possible thing. You're not allowed to.
They're not convinced.
They're not corner of the internet.
What he's validating their anger, basically, that they really believe what they believe. They're not convinced you're the worst possible thing. Right? These are feminists. They're sadistic and hostile. They hate men. They're going after men. They're not convinced of anything. They're just convinced that they can attack these men and get away with it.
And I can see why they're convinced.
Yes, they can get away with it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Live your life and get your followers and whatever. You have to be destroyed. You have to be completely and utterly destroyed. You have to be living in a cardboard box. They want that picture of you in that cardboard box so they can tweet it. And then they're going to tweet the location of you in that cardboard box so they can go dump some gas.
He's dodging the issue here as well. It's not just, they don't want men in a cardboard box per se. Well, they do want that. What they mostly want is their female social dominance validated. They want to be able to point their finger and have a man destroyed because they're female.
Yes.
There's social dominance instincts at play. That's it.
Yeah. And again, I think it's the racial comparison is perfectly right. Like the white woman who pointed at the black man and said, this guy looked at me or touched me or whatever, and he gets hanged. This is completely comparable. Completely.
it on it and light it on fire. And then I guess after they light the cardboard box on fire, they're going to try to plant a garden in the ashes or something in the street. I don't know. So Tug goes on to say, hey, Stripe, could you please explain why a POC-owned business is, POC-owned business. POC-owned business is defunded after being brigaded against. The owners harassed, threatened, and abused. Now they can't accept payment or have anyone explain this issue. If it's a mistake, could you kindly rectify the situation? And this guy here, Yin, says it's always best to talk to a payment processor admin ahead of time. I gotta wonder for these guys doing Indiegogo who've been sort of displaced from Kickstarter if they don't have a good report with.
What does it mean you've got to talk to the admin ahead of time? This sounds like more
gaslighting. It's gaslighting.
Exactly.
Gaslighting. Okay, so you get banned from one. He's talking about Indiegogo from moving to Indiegogo from Kickstarter. The thing is, any site that accepts money, in my opinion, on the internet like this, they shouldn't have the right to ban people unless it doesn't criminal proven in a court of law. Full stop.
Yeah.
Right? It's none of their business. So yeah, they should, because basically, if they don't like any certain political groups, they shouldn't have the right to ban them because it gets abused. There are some certain political groups worse than others. Maybe some should get banned, maybe others shouldn't. But who gets to decide? And you give these groups, these companies the power to do it, they just abuse it. Basically, there's no consistent. Like they want to ban hate groups, right? They're not going to ban feminist hate groups. They're just going to ban men. They're not even going to ban male hate groups. They're going to ban men accused of being part of a hate group without any proof.
Yeah,
that's what's going to go on. Yes.
If Indiegogo, because, you know, if not, they would be getting all these emails and phone calls from the Twitterati being like, oh my God, why are you publishing those?
It's not the Twitter RC. It's not a Twitter RC. Yeah. Okay. He's trying to downplay the issue. Oh, these losers on Twitter with no life. No, these are organized feminist groups who are very successful, well coordinated, and they get shit done. They get shit done. They're proving it. You know, I sort of respect them in a way, right? In a way, I respect a military commander, right? Doesn't matter if the military commander is evil and all the atrocities. If he's effective, you've got to admire their efficiency. They're very efficient at their terror campaign against men. They're very good at it. They're very good at it. They're better than these right-wing losers, that's for sure.
Oh my God, yes. Almost anyone's better than them.
You know what? I sort of understand why a lot of people join the feminist movement. They want to join the winning team.
Yeah, yes. I think I'm beginning to think I understand some of the male feminist ideas. It's like point of view. It's like, look, I'm a slave, but maybe I'll be a house slave as opposed to a field slave. You know.
Yeah.
You know, slightly better treatment.
Racist. Don't publish those frog books. You can't do it. You're literally supporting comic book Hitler.
Frog
books. Of course, he's talking about alt-rights, right?
It's that sarcastic, mocking tone. Yeah. Actually, the frog books are a complete joke. Pathetic losers who publish them.
Yeah, and I could totally see them doing it. I'm sure it's happened. You know, I mean, this is where we're at, guys. And the thing is nobody asked for this. You know, nobody asked.
What did you know when you asked?
Thrown into the middle of a culture war, and
it's not a culture war. It's a feminist female attacking men war. There's no culture war involved in this. Yeah, it's what's it mean by culture war? It's that's another dodge term as well. It's a right wing term.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, what's the culture? You know, like if it's a culture war, how come the romance novels never get zapped?
Yes.
You know, what's the commonality? It's yes. the romance novels are for women, and a lot of this stuff that is getting zapped as a male audience.
Yes.
Usually a dominated male audience.
Yes.
So, geez.
It just happened. It showed up on a lot of people's doorsteps. I mean, we never ever intended to get involved in any of this stuff. And people keep saying, well, like, you're just a bunch of grifters. No, not really, because we have other business interests.
No. They're pushing it. He pushes about having other businesses, how they're putting the business at risk, speaking up. I'm sorry, you're growing your channel on this outrage stuff. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're jumping on the latest right-wing outrage train, and you make videos about it, video after video after video. There's plenty of other channels that do this. Yeah, and unfortunately, like even Midnight's Edge gets sucked into this nonsense a lot of the time. So look, Star Wars is not really worth covering anymore. Or it's certainly not worth covering so much. Right? It's a dead brand. It's shit, and yeah.
It was only the original 3 movies that were any good anyway.
Yeah. And Kathleen Kennedy came in, she said the Force was female, and she did what she set out to do. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
There's nothing really else to report on.
Yeah. And these men are getting attacked all over the place. And you're trying to make it about right-wing politics. And you're using dodge terms like culture war, cancel culture, Twitterati, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And this guy's a libertarian, and that just means he doesn't want to pay his taxes.
Yes.
He wants freedom for himself, and he doesn't want to pay taxes, but he doesn't want freedom for others. That's it.
Yeah. It's always the same thing. It's very psychotic, or just like psychotic, psychopathic.
Yeah.
That we could lose, if the cancel mob came after us. And it's true. Why would we risk that? It's just the.
But you see, this is the thing. You don't have to do anything to be at risk. You just have to be born a guy.
Yes.
So there's no dodging it.
Yes.
There's no dodging it other than getting in a big group, like a herd. Like a herd protects itself by saying, well, we can't outright the lions, we can't outfight them, but if I stay next to my pal, maybe my pal will get it instead of me.
Yeah, that's what herd strategy is not going to work. Yeah, the only way for men to defend themselves is to fight back. We think men need to proactively get these feminists fired from their jobs, and ostracize from society in return.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's going to work. This is what happens. You tolerate feminism a little bit, you tolerate it all the way, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no in between. There's no moderation. There's no moderate feminist.
What feminists always do, they set up shop somewhere, they group together, then they start attacking men. That's it.
Yeah.
War comes to your door. You don't have a choice sometimes. You get dragged into it kicking and screaming, but the other option is you let them drag you out of your house and throw you in that cardboard box and light it on fire, and it's sad that this is where we're at. I'm really heartbroken. I am. Geeky and I talk about how we would love to just make comics and cartoons and cool stuff and have fun and not talk about it. I would love.
Obviously, you've grown your channel doing this stuff. So even you're not doing comic and cartoons, or your comic and cartoons are not that popular.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you're getting states and attention for this. You found your little niche, and you're going to keep on reporting this outrage over and over again. And all these channels are like this. These guys are a complete waste of time.
Yes. Matter of fact, I bet if we hit his channel to see what his videos, he might be cranking out 2 or 3 a day.
I think he is. I see his videos all the time. Let's go to his channel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take a look. I want to see his videos.
How often he pumps them out.
That's what I'm curious too. Now.
Go to videos. Click on videos. Yeah.
Here we are. Get to videos before anything come up. Come on there. Okay.
Scroll down.
I'm sorry, going too fast. Let me go up here. Okay. 6 hours ago, 21 hours ago.
Yeah, he's spamming like 3 a day.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay.
There's been a video
this one's live.
Yeah.
So exactly, these guys, that's the what you call the magic number is about 3 a day. Look at this one. Day ago. There's 2 of them. 2 days. There's 2.
Okay, look, stop. Steam banning anime games.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay, that title's a dodge. That title's a dodge. That title's a dodge. Do you know what that means?
No.
It means hentai games getting banned by feminists.
Ah.
And they're trying to frame it as anime games are not getting banned. Don't be ridiculous. Do you think some random anime RPGs getting banned on Steam right now? It's hentai games getting banned.
Of course.
It's feminists who are demanding it. So
Of course.
that video title should have been "Feminists Trying to Get Hentai Games Banned." Feminists trying to get what men enjoy banned.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
They're just they're just spamming shit out. Random outrage. Okay, but where's your comics? Where's your comics then? Come on, where's your cartoons? Where's your cartoon? I don't see any cartoon videos.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it is. Like these guys try and say, "Oh, I just want to mind my own business," and that, and their cartoons and comics haven't done like what's that numbskull there? It used to be Diversity in Comics. He's renamed himself.
Yes.
All this videos he spammed. He's probably has 2,000 videos by now.
He's very smug as well. Like I watched a video. I watched a video of his, and he was saying exactly the same things as these people. Talking about culture war, cancel culture, how powerless these idiots are, all strongman posturing stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
And the voice is just sick making. It's like, why are you being so smug for? You're getting ass padded.
He's a triple child support slave, basically. He calls unmarried. He says unmarried men are not trustworthy in one video. He's a loser who pays child support to multiple women.
And the thing is, he's had twice around. If he's making enough money off his, shilling operation here, he'll have a third one.
Yeah.
Like these guys are always the same. They just keep coming back for more.
Yeah. I think we said all we need to say about these people. I think we're done. There's nothing we need to add. But I'm just going to say men have got false consciousness. They love to cling on to false ideas, delusional ideas, and they don't want to speak the truth. And the truth is not complicated. It's bloody obvious. And this has been going on one form or another since the late 60s, the rise of radical feminism. And do you know what it started? It started when Andy Warhol was shot by a radical feminist, and the feminist groups actually supported the feminists who did it.
Yes.
Okay? And that was a declaration of war against the male sex, and it's been ignored by men ever since.
Ever since.
And they're just ramping up the aggression more and more, and it's only going to get worse.
Like I said, Esther Villar put out her book in 1971.
Yeah.
It's not even a well-known book.
Yes.
She brought all this down, trashing this 50 years ago now.
Yes.
Literally 50 years ago now. And men just want to go to sleep. They just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. And I'm done for now.
Yes, same here. I think this was necessary. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff just needs to be called out.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Analyzing. I appreciate it. Goodbye.
All right.